Hi. What's up?
How are we doing? Oh, I'm amazing. I'm just chilling out actually at a bar, drinking a few. But what are you up to?
Have the day off from school and work, so I was gonna do homework, but
good. I was supposed to do, and then I got on this app, and then I said, "Screw it."
Yeah.
So let's see here. We're talking about if you're applying for welfare, you should be drug tested. Oh, you think all people that have welfare should be drug tested? Oh, that's my B.
Sorry, you cut out that whole sentence.
All right, give me 1 second. I want to move a little bit closer. All right.
Yeah.
Can you hear me a little bit better now? Okay. Awesome. So definitely been studies on this, done that says that we spend more money on drug tests than actually lose through welfare.
I just feel like if the government is providing like money for someone who needs it for whatever they need it for a living, then they should just have to prove to the government that they aren't spending it on drugs.
Well, you can't spend food stamps on drugs.
On marijuana.
Drugs in general. I mean, you can't spend food stamps on drugs.
Okay, well, just other things that they provide for you. They can certainly trade them, knowing that people do trade things like that, which might seem strange to us, but to them it's normal. Like people who may use welfare or rely on it.
That's could be absolutely fair. And you know, there's some evidence to support that. But again, when we're talking about dollar amounts, because I think that's your main issue, is we're spending too much on people that may use drugs, that you know, may be into things that perhaps they don't need to be spending their money on because they're broke as shit. But as a state, we spend more money testing them than we actually you know, save through doing that. You know what I'm saying?
As you're smoking right now.
Well,
I know.
This is legal, so I can do that.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm personally just against smoking in general, but that's my personal thing. But it's not just like about that people getting welfare money. It's people getting, you know, grants or whatever, people lying to the government. It's like it's definitely being abused, that's for sure. No.
Grants?
Well, that's side.
Wait.
I'm like, that's side.
Okay. Well, you said grants, so I was
I'm just like incorporating school into that necessarily, but that's different conversation for sure.
Well, we can talk about anything. I know you challenged me on open miss politics, so I'm game for any discussion on any of that.
There are some points. I think for the most part, you and I are on agreement on a lot of things because I saw your positions. Like you're pro-choice, right? Yeah.
Correct.
You just have very liberal standpoints. So you can go ahead and talk, and I'll just agree or disagree.
Well, okay. I'll go on a subject that I know you'll disagree with. Then, I do believe that pot should be legalized. I believe that actually most drugs should be decriminalized. I do believe that we should move markets out of the black market. Let's regulate it. Let's make it safer. Let's tax the absolute shit out of it. And we can actually inform the public better if we have scientific data to support some of this stuff. Instead of what we have right now, which is we can't even push into some of these boundaries because they're illegal. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So
do you disagree with that?
I was just kind of stuck on the pot thing. Again, that's totally me. That's totally just me. I am fully aware that tons and probably for sure the majority of the people would want, marijuana to be legalized, which I can understand. I'm aware that everybody smokes, basically. You know what I mean? But for me, it's just kind of like giving in to that. So the counter argument here is, why not legalize it if you go and walk down the street and everybody's smoking it anyways? Because everybody has access to it, whether you're using it for medical purposes or not. Everybody's using it, right?
That's not the argument. But
so
it's not the argument.
But my point is, just why would the government? I don't want them to just give in to just saying, all right, well, we're just gonna legalize it in all 50 states. Because people can get a hold of it anyways, and if you want to smoke weed, you're going to go ahead and smoke weed. The law is not going to stop people, right. And I understand that. But it's like, what if, if they move the drinking age to lower than 21 because so many people want it that way, then, a younger person's going to be like, well, maybe I'll just go ahead and try it because now it's legal. And it's like, I don't want, just younger people to start thinking it's okay, maybe trying it or whatever. Because people need to be mature to kind of do that kind of thing. You need to kind of understand.
If heroin was legalized tomorrow, would you do it?
But that's just me. I've never smoked before. I don't want to. That's not for me. I understand a lot of people go ahead and do it. Weed, it's not as bad as the other ones, but I'm just saying.
Let's take pot, because I know that's an easy one. It's very very, very easy. I personally I smoke occasionally, smoke pot occasionally. Do you think that I should go to jail because I do that? Well, that's essentially what you're promoting, because if it's not legal, then you can be put in jail for some of these things. You can go away for years.
It's more so smoking. Like how much you're growing,
and we're paying 70.
Like you can
how much you're growing, but that's not what just the law applies to. So I mean, do you think that we should be paying, say, $74,000, which is the median, for per prisoner per year in tax dollars that we pay to house these inmates? Do we think that that's actually
no? I wouldn't necessarily say that, because not to be kind of negative, but we kind of need those spaces. We're over, jails are overpopulated. We need that space for people that really should be in jail for crimes they did commit, right?
Sure.
I mean, I'm not saying
absolutely.
I'm not trying to be a prude or anything, but it's just kind of like, I'm not saying they should go to jail for smoking, but you're in that business, you can be very caught up in bad things and give in to people that literally need it to survive, and then they live off welfare because they are lazy and they don't have jobs, and I mean, that's just not cool. And I understand everybody smokes, and I'm probably the only one that doesn't, but
no, that's you're in a majority actually now, so don't worry about that. The question is, at this point, what's the line? So well, we don't think that pot users should be in jail, because why? It's a personal choice. We have personal freedoms in this country. I don't believe that it's the government's job to be saying, hey, I know what's best for you. It's not my job to say that. Okay. So, to me, it's definitely a personal freedom question versus anything else.
And I can understand that. again, it's more personal to me. That's why I'm against that particular topic. And I'm aware that that's biased because of my position. But to me, it's just overall just kind of like giving in and having people maybe think it's okay. And then all of a sudden more people try it. I'm just more worried about, endangerment. And that goes to like drinking alcohol too, like DUIs and stuff. Like, I just want, if you're going to smoke, I just want people to be responsible with it, really. And not endanger other people, but you can't stop that. Whether it's legal or not, it's not going away, if that makes sense. People aren't going to stop.
Well, I agree. Mm-hmm. I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. That's why I'm saying let's regulate it. Let's make it safer. Let's tax the shit out of it. And let's give people the right information in which to make decisions. Will people be doing heroin if, say, a less expensive, better alternative is available?
Right.
That's I guess, one of the questions. No, I never said that. Again, food stamps are for food. No.
But I still think you should be drug tested, because if you are going to be taking money or food stamps or whatever the government is providing you because you can't afford to pay it on your own, then you should still be drug tested. The same reason for anything, and it should be for all drugs, I mean, we spend the amount of money, you might say we spend a lot of money on drug tests, period. That's not our worst case scenario. We spend our most money in the military and other topics underneath that. It's not like we spend only the biggest amount of money on drug tests. There are certainly other subjects that get the most money increased to our debt. So,
I mean, yeah, but what we're talking about is optimizing the budget and making sure that we can continue this democracy of ours a little bit longer. Again, for I see what you're saying. It's been argued that way for a lot of years, and we've seen that the war on drugs has been a failure. It's been a complete failure. There's not a drug-free prison in the United States. And do you think you're going to keep drugs out of free society? No. So it's things like that where I'm saying, okay, we've got an issue. How do we manage it? How do we regulate it? How do we make it safer? And it's not through the black market, because the black market says, oh, you've got enough money? Here you go, 16-year-old. I'll give you any drugs you want. I want him to go to the fucking counter and say, here's my ID. Let's log these purchases. Let's track usage and say, hey, I'd rather give you rehabilitation than incarceration.
And
because that's how we get people back into productive society.
Right.
It's not through jail.
And I feel like if I was for legalizing marijuana, I feel like I would agree with your points, and I see where you're coming from. Like, I feel like that's the way to do it. And it's almost inevitable, really. Like, it's gonna happen. It's not just gonna pass on and be not legal forever. It's gonna happen. So when it does, I agree with what you're saying. I think that's the best way to kind of take it on. Okay. I thought you were for abortion. Anyway.
Yes, abortion is okay. Let's go. I'll talk to you about it, Mav. No, I mean, yeah. I think we're both a little bit left of center, though I might be probably further left than you're probably accustomed to, even though I'm in the south.
There was I took a little test out here or whatever, and I was right. I was not right. I meant I was left center. So, but
right.
God bless.
Right. Let's see here. So let's see here. Do you believe in God? I guess is one question.
Okay. No, I don't. But I respect other people's beliefs. I'm personally not religious. I wasn't brought up that way. My dad is Jewish, and my mom is Catholic. So interesting, right?
Oh, that is
yeah. So
dynamics.
we celebrate Christmas and Hanukkah. It is.
That's a fun month.
We do a Passover and everything. And I've learned a little bit about both. And that was when I was younger. And as we gotten older, we still do Hanukkah and Christmas. But there's no teaching of religion behind either one of them now that I'm older. And personally, I feel like I've gone 18 years without dedicating my life to a religion. And I'm fine. I'm a good person. I don't know if I believe in the afterlife. There's no proof. No one's here to tell me. My life has been shitty and it's been great, and I'm not going to say it's because of God or because it's not. So, personally, I don't believe in God, but I know that people do, and I know it's something people kind of look up to get out of rough situations, and I completely respect that. But no, I don't. So.
I actually I'm in a minority in even this camp. I'm not a atheist. I'm an anti-theist. I don't think there's a God, and I don't think it would be a good thing if people believe that type of stuff. Because it's yes, it is on faith. People that talk to me and say, "Oh well, I'm a man of faith." So you're willing to believe anything based on no evidence? Okay, sounds great. Doesn't do a whole lot for me. So I mean, we're right on the same page on that. As far as I talked I debated with my dad actually about the heroin legalization because that's the most extreme form, and I was trying to make the point that if we provide needles to heroin addicts, we're going to cut down on AIDS and hepatitis and a lot of these things. But it's not going to solve the problem. And absolutely, we need to move society into a post-conservative America, essentially.
I'm listening. I'm just trying to get my. Oh my gosh.
I'm at a bar right now, literally, like, I don't know if you can hear all this music and shit, like. Oh, you can't? I'm kind of surprised. Oh, you can?
Yeah.
How do you, okay, separate topic, I guess. Are you a Clinton supporter, or how do you feel about this election?
Not Trump. I do not want him to be president. I feel like he's not president material. When it comes to the economy, I think he makes great points, obviously, because that's his expertise is money. I feel like, he may have good ways to stimulate the economy better. I don't think Clinton is the best choice either, but between the two, and I don't really know too much about Gary Johnson, I just feel like definitely not Trump, anybody but Trump. I feel like Hillary would have almost solidified being president if she didn't choose a female vice president, personally.
She doesn't have a female vice president.
What's her face as running with her?
Elizabeth
what
Warren.
Happened there?
No. She chose Tim Kaine, Thank you, now. Tim Kaine's a lot more conservative than Elizabeth
What happened
Warren
to well, then that's smarter. What's so funny?
Well, I'm not really sure. He's not conservative. He's more centrist than a lot of people hope for, is what I'm saying. So what? He's Catholic. Who gives a shit? He's not making laws, institutionalizing Catholic teachings or anything like that. I mean, again, he's centrist. You know, he's definitely a supporter of the TPP. He's a supporter of a lot of more, financially. How do I word this? He's definitely for less financial oversight. Yeah.
I mean, and I've kind of like stopped listening to kind of the debates on TV and all that, and I've kind of just zoned out.
Well, the debates haven't started.
But when they were going back for the primary, I just that's when I was more involved with watching what was going on. And from the beginning, and I'm open clearly about it. I have more liberal viewpoints than I do conservative.
Sure.
But I'm not, I agree with a little bit of both. I would not ever vote for Trump because just the way he handled himself, even in his debates for primary, Carly would say something and it would be solely about politics. And then he would just rebuttal with like, well, you're unattractive, that kind of thing. Like, how could you even, why are you wasting my time? Why am I watching you talk about how you should be president if that's how you're even going to handle something? Like, who does that? That's almost like ridiculous that someone with that much money can be in that much power just because he has money. He has no political background, in my opinion.
Well, not only that, I mean, you were talking about his economical expertise. He's gone bankrupt 4 times. His company, not him personally. By the way, that Tim Kaine quote is also from like the 90s. That's not his current position. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, I
kind of don't want to battle you now because you're hella bagging on him. Like, you scare me.
Well, no, I mean, I actually respect Matt quite a bit.
So does everyone.
He's very intelligent. Well, yeah. I hope they say the same thing about me. Probably.
No, I think both you guys are very popular on here, and I'm not as knowledgeable as both of you. I mean, but I'm here to learn kind of and like express my opinions and then kind of learn about, what your guys' view. I'm very open. Like, I'm not a person that says I'm right, you're wrong. I like to listen to what people think. Everyone thinks differently, so I'm here for that.
Absolutely. Then that's a great thing to say. I mean, and I'm totally with you on that. I originally got on this app because I was like, oh, screw it, like I'll talk to a few people, see how the rest of America feels, essentially. And I've been actually, I've enjoyed this app quite a bit, even though it's kind of sucked at points. But that's what it is.
Clearly.
No, yeah. Everything needs improvement. Nothing's static, brother. But I would highly recommend take a look more at Gary Johnson. I don't support him per se, just because I mean he's not even in the conversation to be president. It's Trump. So that's it. Yeah. Well, and a lot of people on here are more conservative. Which, all right, I'll
I'm just gonna take a step back.
No, you're doing great. No, and I appreciate what you're saying. Straight up. I know you've been on a couple of different debates that I've seen anyway.
Like commentating.
Yeah. I think last night I was up till like 3 in the morning doing some BS, and yeah, I think you were on there. But yeah, it's oh, all right, lot to unpack there. No, we need a commander in chief who knows policy and who knows that we can't use nuclear weapons in Europe and things like
So
that.
you're Hillary over Trump, I'm assuming.
Yes, I am. Yeah, I am. And I enjoy defending that position because to say, you know, oh yeah, let's vote for Trump, who called John McCain not a war veteran. I like prisoners who don't get captured. Huh? What'd you say? And you're telling me you're a patriot? You're respecting America? This is a man who bled for you, and you're disrespecting him like that? No, don't give me that. Making fun of disabled reporters. And,
he's terrible, honestly. I mean, and I used to be a really good fan of The Apprentice. Honestly, I was watching that every week, and so just to hear that, even when he just entered the campaign, it's just kind of like, what? You're a TV star, like you're for entertainment. Are you being serious right now? So.
Well, if you notice what happened in the primaries, it was almost like a reality television series. It wasn't any. Let me rephrase that. There were. It was not fact based. He came out with a lot of positions that, I mean, they can't be implemented. To say that, oh well, we're gonna deport 11 million immigrants is insane, especially because every single one of them has due process in this country. Because we respect the Constitution, conservatives. Thank you. So, yeah, it's. Let's look at policy. Let's look at what's up. Disrespected Benghazi. So after several Republican-led investigations into Benghazi, we found that there was no wrongdoing. Hillary, what's up? Who cares? Look, hey, I'm with you on that. That was a callous ass statement. The FBI said that she did nothing wrong. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that that's not a callous ass statement. It's a piece of shit statement to say. And frankly, I'm against Hillary for a lot more reasons than a lot of people say. A lot of people say, oh well, emails, Clinton Foundation, whatever. No, I'm looking back further than that. I'm talking about her handling of Bosnia, Kosovo, when Bill Clinton was president, as well as her support for the overthrow in Honduras. And yes, taking donations from foreign entities and getting kind of a pay-for-play scheme is not. It's not good.
Huh? I'm not sure.
Hello.
Oh. I'm debating on that one app I told
you
about.
What's up?
She's like, let me get out of here now.
Let me get away from all this.
Wing.
Let's get away from all this intense political talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hey, Hillary Clinton does a lot. I'm not saying she isn't.
I mean,
she's gonna pass the TPP, even though she said several times that she's been against it. I mean, she's gonna pass it. Everybody who knows anything about her positions knows that's gonna happen.
We can hear you. Get out. Okay, she's gone.
They were extremely careless. That doesn't mean she intentionally lied to people about Benghazi. Yeah. Get the right quote, please. So, you know, I feel like we're basically on the same level here. I would encourage you to do a little bit more research into Gary Johnson, because he is actually an interesting candidate. You know, the libertarian view isn't bad. You know, I've got some issues with it, but I'm actually, you know, I call myself a socio-libertarian in that, you know, a lot of those ideals in that the freedom of expression, freedom of speech, freedom of choice to a certain extent is all part of that. We're Americans. We get to do what we want because this is the greatest country on
Okay,
earth, you know,
let me ask you about Colin Kaepernick.
Sure, absolutely. I actually just wrote a piece on
Oh,
that.
wow, okay.
So
your views?
Yeah, I'm a journalism major, political science major, economics minor. So a little background on me. As far as Kaepernick goes, I absolutely agree. Taking a knee, that's a great form of protest. He brought attention to his cause. He donated $1 million out of his own money and donated the proceeds from his jersey sales to helping communities that are underprivileged. You know, I'm all the way in favor of that. And I had to actually talk to this girl yesterday that said, well, if he doesn't like this country, he should move.
Every Republican ever.
And
like whatever.
Right. And no, that's not how we move this country forward. That's not how we.
You don't just say get out. Like,
and
there's a reason they're here, and there's less fortunate countries in this world. They come here for change and hope, and then you get people telling them that they should leave, and it's not that easy. You can't just pick up and go anyways, even if they wanted to. And there's a lot more freedom here than I would argue, like Mexico, some parts, that kind of thing. So people, they need it here. They need this freedom and opportunity.
Absolutely. I mean, this nation gives us more opportunities than just about any other, as far as where we want to go with careers, where we think that we can land as far as job prospects. I assume you're in college, I think, from what I heard. Yeah. I'm not really sure what your major is. What is your major, if you don't mind me asking?
Don't tell me what's what.
I'm sorry. I hope you won't take offense. Just I was wondering.
Oh, I'm not offended. I don't have a major right now. I mean, I just turned 18. I just started college. I am going to a junior college. Part of the reason I'm going to a junior college is because I don't have any idea what I want to do. But I am interested in political science, and I'm not as full of knowledge as you are, but it interests me, so I wouldn't mind learning about that. I'm taking a humanities class right now. It's my favorite class. You know, I really like listening to other people's opinions and, you know, just the way they think. It's very interesting. Part of the reason I'm so open about others' opinions. But, yeah, so far nothing. Probably communications. I was asking someone what the major is. I think he was going to say something else, like, oh, please don't tell me it.
Well, yeah,
what were you going to say?
No, it was just like, if you don't
mind okay.
asking,
yeah, no.
That's it. It wasn't an offensive comment. I didn't mean for it to
you're fine.
be like that. No, I mean, and that's absolutely awesome. I went to a junior college as well for a little bit to get my GEs out of the way, because what am I going to spend, $10,000 for a semester of GEs? Give me a break. No, let's pay $4,000 and get the same thing done. Easier classes too. So, that's one thing. Man. Yeah, I mean, if you enjoy communications, I mean, for me personally, I love politics. I mean, it shapes everything. All of what we do. Why don't we go 80 miles an hour on the interstate? Because there are laws in place. Why are those laws in place? What can we do to change those? Okay, how do we make this safer? Things like that. I mean, they're very valid questions. They have national impact, and you start getting into these issues, and it's a lot of fun. For me personally, I get extremely irritated day to day. Extremely irritated, and I get pissed off all the time. But I enjoy being pissed off to a certain extent.
That's understandable.
Which is really weird.
Like you like debating people.
Absolutely. I mean, through debate, that's the only way we're gonna figure out what our actual positions are. That's the only way. Challenging statements is where we learn and grow from our positions. I'll take arguments from all sides to support or or to go against my argument and say, okay, well then, what's my response to this? Very important. My jersey, by the way, is it's actually a custom jersey. 77 was Cullen Jenkins. It was also my number when I played in high school. So yeah, it's custom jersey. I'm not going to show the back. It's my last name, but me and Nav were, haha, good luck. But yeah, it's custom jersey. Yeah. Good luck making me a Republican. You know, yeah. Try. I think the gays should be allowed to get married. I believe that, you know, everybody has rights in this country. So let's go. That's not the position of the Republican Party, though. I'm slicing.
I was watching. Well, I take that back. I don't watch The View, but do you know what that is? The girls at a table talking about discussions.
I think I've heard of it. I haven't actually watched it.
Well, there are like 5 or 4 girl celebrities, and they sit and they talk and they have their coffee in the morning and they discuss topics. It could be very, you know, gossip related or political, whatever, or both.
Sounds like The View.
That's
okay.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Okay.
Oh yeah. I've seen it.
Okay,
I've watched
so
it. Yeah.
give us a useless opinion. Are you talking to me?
I feel like he's mocking me.
Okay.
About The View.
No, I'm not talking about whatever. Let me speak. So.
No, yeah. Yeah, you're good.
Candace Cameron Bure, they were talking about a situation that happened, I think, in California. Basically, a small business owner who owns a bakery they make wedding cakes for weddings, and they were going to make a wedding cake for this one couple, but they found out that they were gay. So they refused to make them their wedding cake for their wedding, and that kind of, you know, sparked things, and people found out about it.
See, I actually disagree with that. They have every right, as a private business, they have every right to
exactly
service. That's absolutely.
And that is my opinion. I 100% agree with you. That's my stance. But that's what Candace Cameron Bure was saying. She's from Full House. She plays DJ. She agrees with us. But then Raven Simone was on The View with her, and she got in a big fight with her about, you can't do that. That's disrespectful. In my opinion, it's disrespectful. Like, why can't you make them a cake? But overall, they're not doing anything illegal, and they're a small business owner. They can do what they want to. And I don't think what they did was wrong, in a sense that they shouldn't be doing that. Like, that's their opinions. If they don't like gays, which I see everyone as equal, like, who cares if someone's gay? But that doesn't make what they did, like, wrong on paper, if that makes sense. Like, you can't force someone to make you a cake. What?
Empty pitcher. I need a new pitcher. What the fuck? Well, see, black's something.
Yeah.
Well, shit. No, it isn't.
It's just like I'm saying I disagree, because I'm for blacks and whites are equal, gays and straights are equal. Like, I believe that we're all equal, and if I was the business owner, I would make them their cake. There's nothing wrong with that. But then you can go to negative things, like things that are actually bad. Like, would you make a criminal his cake, someone who shot 50 people? It's like, you have the right to deny service to anyone, whether you find it negative or not, or you believe in it or not. Like, then you could get into so much other things, like you want to deny a Christian if you're atheist or whatever you are.
Sure.
It's still your choice as a business owner. They're not McDonald's. They're not all over the place. They're not going to get in trouble. They're one business.
Exactly. For private business, I mean, that's completely up to them. In my mind, they absolutely have control of their own interests, and if they don't want to deny, or if they want to deny service to anybody, that's their right. and it just is what it is. And I don't particularly enjoy that, ideal, but it is what it is. It is part of our freedom.
Right. And I agree. And like I said, I don't agree with what they did, but what they're doing isn't. It's morally wrong, but it's not wrong. And that's what I do like about, these discussions, like kind of it's not black and white. It's definitely gray, mostly gray. And it kind of makes you think, well, if that's the rule, then, vice versa. Okay, I will. Keep getting your notifications. Who's the awesome?
I can't wait. That's actually going to be a really good debate. I will say this: Nav is going to be next to his computer, so just make sure to fact check everything before you.
I don't even want to talk to him. I don't want to talk to him. I feel like he's not going to be as nice as you are with talking to me. I feel like he's going to be like, "Well, you're dumb."
No,
using facts.
No. I will say Nav is pretty respectable.
I don't want to get burned.
Well, I mean, hey, I'll burn you if you really want to.
No,
but no, Nav is actually pretty. He's solid. Don't worry about being insulted by him. He's fine. I actually I had a interview, or not an interview. I'm sorry. We had a discussion, I guess. It wasn't really a debate. A couple nights ago, and I think it was like an hour and a half long type discussion, and with Nav. And I mean, you'll actually be surprised. He calls himself a conservative. He's actually more centrist than I think he realizes. Because I mean, he's not a conservative. He's really not. If you want to go with actual, I'm sorry. If you want to go with conservative as it is today, not what you're believing, which is the actual definition, which I would agree with you. I would agree with you as far as the actual definition, but today's standards and today's practices, he's not a conservative.
Just says, let's see, he uses facts and he doesn't use feelings or opinions, but I'm very opinionated, and I feel like that's all I would really use. So,
no, I mean, well, you've looked at studies though, and have looked at some of the things that we're presenting. Like my fact that we spend more money on actually drug testing people than we save on welfare. That's an actual statistic, and Nav, please check me on it. Absolutely, so. Opinions only get you so far. Only, conjunctions only get you so far. You have to have statistics at a certain point to back up what you're saying. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna order another picture. Hey, can I get another picture of Budweiser? Yeah, drug testing is expensive, especially when it's going, to welfare people that don't have any money to start with. It's all state money, which means we need to raise more revenue. I am on Wi-Fi. Don't worry. Otherwise, I would not be doing this. No, because otherwise I'd be shooting my dad in the face. Yeah. No, don't worry about Nav though. He'll actually line up with you at probably more than you actually think.
And why are you challenging me on pro-choice if you just debated Tal yesterday and you were agreeing with me, or you have similar viewpoints?
Devil's advocate.
He just wants to show he can support both sides, right?
Well, I mean that's how you know that you're talking to somebody who knows what the fuck he's talking about. I mean, if you want to debate something, I will absolutely take the opposite side for it. Because if I can't debate that side, then frankly, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. You have to know both sides of the argument. Otherwise, I mean, you're not informed.
I guess my question is, what actually are you? I know you can play both sides and you know information about, but which one? Like, what are you? What do you actually believe?
Like I said, I mean, I'm a socio-libertarian. To an extent, yeah. Well, give me 2 more seconds. Let me set this down. I'm trying to weave my way through here. All right. All right. All right. Now we're good. All right. What do I actually believe? I'm what's called a socio-libertarian in that I believe that government should absolutely be involved with the welfare of citizens. There are certain things that the government needs to control, such as healthcare, welfare, Social Security, things like that. Absolutely, government needs to do, because private corporations won't do that. They will not. They're interested for their bottom line. They're not interested in helping the American citizen. So we need that. Yes, free market capitalism is a great thing. It works for most situations, but it doesn't work for every situation. Okay, so we've got to understand that two systems can work together if we keep their realms separate. And again, I mean, I'm actually kind of conservative to a certain extent. I believe that the invasion of Iraq was a good thing, which a lot of people don't actually agree with anymore. So, you know, because a lot of people, oh, well, we're spending a lot of money and, oh, well, you know, it didn't help us that much or whatever. People go, oh, well, Saddam Hussein was a bad guy. Anytime somebody says that, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Okay? This was a guy who massacred his own people, who dropped chemical bombs on his own people, who tried to perpetrate the genocide of Kurds. Saddam was also Iraq. What? We didn't get him in Kuwait. That's the whole point. Right. Who had the WNDs that didn't actually exist? Who was the government that was responsible for that? The Ba'ath Party, which was sponsored by Saddam Hussein. Thank you. Okay, so what's your point? Okay. So, you know, there are actually four situations where a country can say they have lost their sovereignty. Okay. One is repeated aggression against neighboring states, genocide against their own people, harboring international gangsters and terrorists, okay, and fooling around with the non-proliferation treaty, which Iraq had broken more than once, multiple times. You know, they did it over and over again. And we actually voted in, I believe it was the 90s or it might have been the late 80s, that it shall be the policy of the United States to move Iraq into a post-Saddam era. And yeah, what's up, man? We've covered a lot of issues.
Yeah, can you even see me, or like how does this work? Does it says recording on your side? Oh, okay. Awesome.
It's recording on your side too, because we both agreed to let this battle be recorded. I don't record all of mine because some of mine I'm not doing things that I need to be doing, but it is what it is. I enjoy this, so. Yeah, they know. They know. But yeah, I mean, so yeah, this is being recorded. I mean, I'll probably save this for a later date and review it for bullshit, but that's about it. Let's see here. Yeah. When we left Iraq, the timing was awful. I mean, look, everybody agrees that we should have left a larger residual force. Across. We look at World War II. We left a residual force in Japan. We look at Korea War. We left a residual force in South Korea. There's a reason why these places were still democratic, and said, "Hey, no, we're not going to let infrastructure go to the way it was. We're going to institute a new policy here," and it does. Let's see. Okay. It's absolutely necessary, but people that go, "Oh well," Saddam Hussein in the first place don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Frankly, when we talked about that theater, or most theaters in general, frankly. Yeah.
Oh, that's for you.
I mean, do you agree with the? No, that's Comrade. I think he was. Yeah, Keezy.
Oh.
He kind of just like joined the discussion for about.
How can you even?
2 seconds.
How do you even see who's watching?
I mean,
it says 2 people. You click on it.
Yeah, two people. I mean, you can see them in the comments. It's Nav and. I mean, do you think that we should have?
I feel like I just don't have.
True. Saying he's technically been over by.
Are you asking more generally if like our involvement is bad?
No, I'm asking if you think we should have gone to Iraq in the first place. Because a lot of people, say, "Oh well, there were no weapons of mass destruction."
Are you
things like that? Like
are you
we shouldn't have been
now?
in the first place. What's up?
Oh my god.
Yes, I am. Hey,
Oh
I just drank a pitcher of beer.
Not to follow you to the bathroom.
What do you actually?
Oh my god. Oh no, is right. Yes.
Oh
no.
Oh. Oh, absolutely no.
No. Oh no.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Anyway, but no, I mean it's. Do you actually think that we should have gone into Iraq, or do you think that that was something that was drawn up essentially on a board and said, "Oh well, we need to institute this," versus the actual concerns that we had going on?
I really don't know. I feel like. I mean, I really don't know.
That's fair. No, I mean, that's a completely. I wish people would say that more, because people don't actually like. They'll take positions and don't.
I feel like you're not entitled to choose a
about.
position. I mean, you don't know, or either way is a position itself. So,
I also didn't touch my dick in that particular instance. So call it no hands. Sorry.
Why am I here right now?
Cheers.
Oh god. Oh gosh.
No, please. Man, I let everything hang out every interview. Discussion. I don't. What do you want? What do you want from me? I'm a man. I'm a person.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
I mean this. Yeah. I think we've pretty much crossed our discussion topics.
I mean, you're probably one that I agree with most
appreciate you
on here, for the most part. So.
Well, hey, I appreciate that. I mean, it's not hard when most other people are mad conservative. Even though Nav, I think
he's fronting.
Conservative. He's well. there's a better category for him. I'd have to actually like sit down and like go through all those positions to go with it. But I don't think he's actually business conservative. Get my ass out of here. Nah. But no. I appreciate talking to you. And by the way, I think you made some pretty good points. I highly recommend go after it. Do look at some of these things. If you get into it,
then
if
it's
you
not
get
like
into
it's not like
debate
work,
and say, hey, well, for me, one of the things I do.
Oh my gosh, we were almost done, and he was.
That was my big. Yeah, that was mine. No, yeah. Continue to take a look at this. Scroll through all the news. Yeah. Form your own opinion and let's talk about it. Write it out. Let's let's bring them on. Absolutely. I think you've got a couple of different debate requests now.
So do I. Okay.
I'm gonna. Well, you've got them. I don't. They don't like battling me anymore.
I don't. Oh my gosh.
So
don't even get me started on guns and gun control because they need gun control. So
see, I agree with gun control, and so does Mav.
Yeah, but
so,
Austin's like,
I don't know.
Oh. Why is it easier to get a gun than it is to get a driver's license, Austin? Or to vote?
That's not.
That's true. Dude, my neighbor. Okay. Quick story before we finish off here.
Go ahead.
I haven't taken a test to get a gun permit or whatever it is. But my friends have, and they've literally told me it's not like a test where you kind of have to study for it. It's almost kind of like logical things to where anyone can really get it. And there's a lot that you could miss and all this. And it's just like, why is it that way? And why is it so much more difficult for someone to vote, and the government makes it all confusing? What's he saying here?
Well,
but, okay.
As far as like redistricting and gerrymandering goes, that's a little bit different of an issue as far as disenfranchisement of voters. Guns, and this is something to call Austin is the gun show loophole. Being able to go to a gun show, being able to purchase a gun without being able to, without being checked for it is absolutely.
I mean, and I'm not saying that people shouldn't have guns and it's like you shouldn't have access to guns. I'm just saying that Matthew Morgan, you can figure out what I am. I'm just saying that it should be harder.
You got to fight Austin.
It should be harder to get a gun. Just because you turn 18 doesn't mean that you can just go out, pass a simple test, and have a gun in your house. I mean, people are crazy. My neighbor, and he's just one person, but he's my example that I use, is he turned 18, and his girlfriend broke up with him. And the day he turns 18, he goes out and gets a gun. Now, I know that guy has never held a gun before, and he is crazy. He doesn't have a safe that holds his gun. He's very irresponsible with it. Why are you letting these emotional, rages take over your... What the fuck is that? There's, a huge spider. Why? How can he just go out and get a gun? He scares me, as a neighbor. You're just gonna walk down the street and shoot someone's head off? How did you get a gun? I know you personally, and you should not have a gun in your house. And you have no reason to. You don't go hunting. I mean, you're fine. You're fine. And we don't live in, a scary-ass neighborhood. You're fine. How did you just get a gun in 24 hours? That kind of things. It's not 24 hours. But.
Our Second Amendment is pretty important. Nobody's of course arguing that we should take away guns. That's insane. But checks absolutely need to be implemented. I know Nav is a fan of universal background checks, and with that including mental checks. So that's something. Yep, I got you. So that's something that I'm sure you could. Wait, what? So it doesn't matter if they're a felon? Well, okay, we're right there then. Okay. Yeah, I think Austin will give you a little bit more divisiveness as far as guns are concerned, because you and Nav are gonna be pretty close. I have a feeling. Yeah. But yeah, I appreciate it, and I'm gonna sign off and probably actually start on homework because I hated that. But sounds good. You take it easy tonight, and have a good time debating Austin or Nav. I'm sure they're gonna be
lovely. Thank you. Okay. Okay,
all
you
right,
too.
take it easy.
Bye.